Dear comrades of the Communist Party USA, dear workers of America, today we celebrate May Day around the world, a day of struggles for all the working class in the US and the whole planet. The migrant workers in Chicago who fought and sacrificed their lives in May 1886 for the establishment of the 8-hour day paved the way for the international working class to continue to demand its rights. May Day is a historic day for the working class, as it is a day of struggle and workers' vindication of our demands to emancipate ourselves and the end the labor exploitation of the capitalist system. The social function of work lies in the social benefit it generates, and that is why the existence of wage labor is an attack on the rights of our class. The extraction of our labor to enrich the pockets of the privileged few. Over the last few decades, as a society, we have experienced a major technological revolution that has had a radical impact on the economy and the world of work. We produce more and less in less time. But we do not work less. This should be common sense. Why don't we work less if the productive needs are already covered? The answer is simple, and that is that capitalism needs to expand the margin of production in order to increase the margin of profit as well. Why work less if we can sell more? It is where the exchange values come in, as the importance of the commodity is not its utility, but how much money can be exchanged. This dynamic, which ends up producing surplus production, causes a phenomenon of overproduction and destructions of our surpluses to prevent the devaluation of commodity prices. In a context of an economic and consumer crisis, such as the one we are experiencing, it is criminal to waste tons of basic necessities, such as food, to prevent them from becoming expensive. In Spain, during the COVID health crisis, we've seen how these dynamics took place around the marketing of antigen tests and masks, and how it was not until the regularization that their access was democratized. Since mid-2021, inflation has accelerated in both Spain and the Eurozone, linked to energy and food prices, while wages are moderating their rise. The rise in inflation is not because of workers and collective bargaining, but the rise in business prices to recompose profit margins. The strong inflationary pressure of energy, to which must be added the effects of the war in Ukraine, is spreading to basic goods and services, especially aggravating low-income households and generalizing situations of energy poverty. Since mid-2021, inflation has accelerated in both Spain and the Eurozone, linked to energy and food prices, while wages are moderating their rise. The rise in inflation is not because of workers and collective bargaining, but the rise in business prices to recompose profit margins. The strong inflationary pressure of energy, to which must be added the effects of the war in Ukraine, is spreading to basic goods and services, especially aggravating low-income households and generalizing situations of energy poverty. It is urgent to take effective measures to stop the rise in prices that impoverish the working class. It is essential to ensure the purchasing power of households, especially those with fewer resources. Hence, the importance of the increase of the salaries and the pensions refer to the increase in the cost of living. We are at a time when the basic elements of the consumer basket, such as electricity, fuel and food, are rising sharply, worsening the living conditions of the population. Therefore, it is important to develop a collective bargaining that slows down the dynamics of loss of purchasing power of wages. The digital and energy transition must be fair and cannot leave a significant chunk of the working class in the lurch. Now is the time to have adequate and decent wages, to promote stable and quality employment, and to end inequalities. We, the working people, are clear. We don't have to pay for this crisis. That's why communists of Catalonia take to the streets this May 1st saying, "Let's struggle, make ends meet can be a utopia." Long live the international working class. Long live May Day.